watching Our Time on Freedom TV channel. My name is Oleg Borisov. Hello, here are the main headlines. 7 people have been killed, 16 wounding. Among the dead are 2 children. In Kharkiv, a Russian missile struck a 5-story residential building, destroying the entrance from the 1st to the 5th floor. 4 of the wounded were taken to the hospital, including an 11-year-old boy. The child is in intensive care in extremely critical condition. A 6-year-old boy from the same family was also injured. He has been diagnosed with bruises. There may still be people trapped under the rubble. Search and rescue operations and firefighting efforts are ongoing. March 9th has been declared a day of mourning in Kharkiv.
Kyivsky district of the city of Kharkiv. A missile strike hit a 5-story building. One entrance was completely destroyed. All our forces and state emergency service units are at work. The search and rescue operation is ongoing. Right now, the top priority is to save as many people as possible. The scale of the destruction is quite significant. The building's entrance has been completely destroyed down to the 1st floor, and the debris needs to be cleared using heavy machinery. Excavators from the State Emergency Service and municipal services are being brought in to clear access to the area. Then the work resumes, and in this way, the search and rescue operations continue.
Overnight, the Russian Federation Army attacked a residential area in Zaporizhzhia with drones. One of the drones exploded near apartment buildings. A 3-month-old baby girl was injured by shrapnel. She is currently in the hospital in moderate condition, according to doctors. The blast wave blew out windows in 6 buildings. Rescue workers and city utility services are dealing with the aftermath of the attack. Volunteers are distributing warm clothes and building materials to residents of the affected buildings for home repairs, and are also providing psychological support. Kyiv also came under Russian attack last night. 3 people were injured as a result of the strikes. More than 1,900 homes were left without heating. The city was shelled with ballistic missiles. According to the city administration, debris from Russian missiles was found in 3 districts of the capital, and in one of them there was smoke and a fire in a non-residential area. The fire has already been extinguished. Meanwhile, 6 people were injured in Kramatorsk. Early in the morning, the Russians dropped a half-ton aerial bomb. Among the injured are 3 children. According to the city administration, 12 apartment buildings were damaged, as well as 5 administrative buildings, and more than 20 vehicles were damaged. 4 people were injured in the Sumy region. Over the past day, Russia shelled 4 districts. In the Trostanets community, railway infrastructure facilities were damaged. In Balapilya, 6 private homes were damaged. And in Sumy, the Russians struck a gas station, an apartment building, and an office building. Police are documenting the aftermath of the attacks. Russia has not given up attempts to destroy Ukraine's residential and critical infrastructure. This is how President Volodymyr Zelenskyy responded to last night's massive Russian attack on Ukraine. According to him, the Russian Federation also targeted railway infrastructure and energy facilities. Zelenskyy called on partners to give a strong response to the aggressor and help Ukraine defend itself.
There must be a response from our partners to these brutal strikes. Thank you to everyone who will not remain silent. Russia has not abandoned its attempts to destroy Ukraine's residential and critical infrastructure, which means support must continue. The Pearl program should keep operating just as actively. We are counting on active cooperation with the EU to guarantee greater protection for our people. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, president of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Russia is a terrorist state. This is how Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Andriy Sybiha, commented on the Russian Federation's strike on Kharkiv. He noted that it is unacceptable to ease restrictions or sanctions against Russian murderers while they continue to kill Ukrainian children in their sleep. It is unacceptable to relax sanctions or lift bans on international sports and cultural events.
The regime in Moscow not only terrorizes Ukraine, but also spreads terror around the world. It helps Iran to kill and destroy, strengthens North Korea, and increases its ability to threaten the region. Pressure on Russia must be increased to restore lasting peace for Ukraine and to protect international peace and security. Andriy Sybiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on social network X.
At night, Russia attacked Ukraine's critical infrastructure facilities. The aggressor used attack drones as well as ground and sea-launched missiles. In total, more than 1,000 aerial attack weapons were used. This includes 2 Zircon high-speed missiles, 13 Iskander ballistic missiles, 14 cruise missiles, and 480 attack drones. The main directions of the strike were Kyiv, Kharkiv, Zhytomyr, Khmelnytsky, and Chernovtsi regions. According to preliminary data, air defense shot down or suppressed 472 targets, 19 missiles, and 453 drones of various types. As a result of the massive Russian shelling of Ukraine, the railway infrastructure was damaged, and a number of passenger trains have been forced to change their routes, with some services experiencing delays. Due to the threat of strikes, some trains have come to a stop. In several cases, passengers had to be evacuated at night.
As a result of the massive enemy attack and damage to the railway infrastructure, a number of Ukr-Zalezhnitsia trains in the Rivne, Vinnytsia, and Zhytomyr regions have been forced to change their routes. This means there will be delays along the way. Backup diesel locomotives have already been deployed to all de-energized sections. Inspection and repairs of the infrastructure have also already begun. From the statement of the joint stock company, Ukr-Zalezhnitska.
Peace remains an achievable goal when it comes to Russia's war against Ukraine. This was stated by White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt in response to journalist questions. The press was interested in whether President Donald Trump's faith had been shaken after it became known that Russia was providing Iran with intelligence for strikes against Americans. Leavitt responded that the head of the White House still believes peace is an achievable goal. Journalists also asked whether Trump had expressed dissatisfaction to Putin over the intelligence sharing with Iran. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said she would provide the president the formal opportunity to address the nation directly.
I think the president would say that peace is still an achievable goal when it comes to the war between Russia and Ukraine. You saw how Special Envoy Steve Witkoff posted a tweet announcing a new prisoner exchange between Russia and Ukraine. So this is something that this administration still wants to accomplish, and something I know the president will continue to work on. Caroline Leavitt, White House spokesperson.
Azerbaijan has prevented a series of terrorist attacks organized by Iran. Counterintelligence exposed the terrorists and identified their targets. Among them were the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan oil pipeline, the Israeli embassy, and the Ashkenazi synagogue. The terrorists were gathering information about strategic sites and individuals of interest to Iranian intelligence services. 3 explosive devices were brought into the country. All of them were neutralized. In one village, a container with 8 kilograms of explosives was found. It was intended for blowing up facilities and concrete structures. The Swedish Coast Guard detained a vessel from the Russian Federation's Shadow Fleet in the Baltic Sea. The operation was carried out using a helicopter and a patrol boat. The vessel was sailing under a foreign flag and is on Ukraine's sanctions list. According to available information, it was carrying grain and had recently arrived from Casablanca, presumably heading to St. Petersburg. The Coast Guard boarded the vessel in Swedish territorial waters. An investigation is currently underway. No final decisions have been made yet.